Hello and welcome to another edition of Talkin' Business. I'm Joey Trombley, and on the camera is the founding father himself, Calvin Castine. Today is the 9th day of June 2015, and it was pouring rain here earlier, and we were wondering if we could do this show outside, but we called Tom Messner, and he talked to the gods, and they cleared the skies out for us here, and our travelers have taken us here to Champlain, here off of Route 9, and we're going to have the folks, tell the folks who we have here.
I'm Shelley Seller.
Shelley Seller.
And I'm Bruce Leclaire.
Okay. And you guys have been North Country icons here for a long time. And at this location, how many years have you been here?
15 years. 15 years.
15 years.
We've been selling cars a little bit, and we do a little bit of garage work. Right now, mostly, just tires and things like that. Also, we're doing the Intox lot thing, which is in the northern quarter. We take care of when you get a DWI or something. They get together with the parole officer and such, give us a call, we install them, we deinstall them, and we see some pretty sad faces, but it happens. People, we had one guy in 44 years, never had a parking ticket, but he had a few drinks from his neighbor. By the time he got home, he got a DWI. So it happens. And so we, in the northern corner of Vermont, Champlain, Plattsburgh, Ross's Point, wherever, if they happen to need one, they give us a call. We get permission from everybody out of Indiana, and they send us a unit. We put in a couple last week and took one out yesterday for a young lady. Mm-hmm. She was so happy to get the damn thing out of there. We can't say that on TV.
but I'm sure she was. Now I know you came. Well, you've been here 15 years,
yes.
And actually I remember the day you bought it.
Yes. You helped us out all the way. You helped us out with the house and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks to you. Really, I mean, I know we're here, but thanks to you, you got us the help we needed to get the job done.
Well, I appreciate that. But that wasn't the purpose of the question. When you came here 15 years ago, what was your first thought when you came here? Was it to open the gas station, or was it to sell cars?
Sell cars.
It was strictly to sell cars, right?
Strictly to sell cars.
It was a contingency of purchasing it.
Right, that you could sell cars.
That we could sell cars. If we could not get the variance, it was something that we would have to reconsider.
Okay, and of course, this was a very popular place prior to you buying the property.
Absolutely.
This goes way back to the Fillion family, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like we were talking earlier, they were the last ones going into Canada and the first ones coming out. They had a mobile station there.
Because the Thruway wasn't here at the time.
Absolutely. So this was at one time, well, when Champlain was Champlain, there's not much left in Champlain anymore. These guys are doing a heck of a job trying to build it back up. It's beautiful down there. But at one time, when I look at the old pictures that you guys put on Facebook, I mean, it was beautiful. Margaret Senecals and Pearls and Jimmy Chevet's and all of those, they talk about the golden years, and I tell everybody those were the golden years. Those were the golden years. It was good times.
Oh, Champlain was a beautiful, beautiful
location
at one time.
Absolutely.
And then from the from the Fillions, I think it went to the Burrell family.
I do believe so. Yes, and they did quite a business too. Mr. Burrell, I think, died a couple of years ago or a year ago.
Oh, that I hadn't heard.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And then from the Burrell family, it went to the Jarvis family. And I think then you purchased it from the Jarvis family.
No, we purchased it from Mrs. Fillion.
It was Mrs. Fillion that got it back then.
Yes, and the house also.
All right, that's okay. Now you bring back the memories there. Okay. Now, as the years have gone by, you kind of evolved into other businesses here.
Right. We opened a garage and we did some garage business. We're kind of like out of the loop. We sold the used cars at one time. We had as many as around 43, 46 cars at the time. But used cars are used cars. They have miles on them. They're a little bit cheaper. We got into some financing, and that was tough. And a little bit of health problems here recently. So we basically cut back really heavy on the car business, just trying to get away from the stress. We're doing the food business, which we've also done for a matter of years. We started in Vermont,
okay,
with a little rig over in Alberg, where they have it's a Dollar General now on that corner. As you take a left to go to Swanton,
right? Yes,
we were right there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun, and it was small. So from there we went, and I had purchased through the dealership 3 buses from the Vermont Transit. They were 25 footers, and we sold one to Haiti. Went to Haiti actually, where they drive on like on the side of the mountains, and they were diesels, and 2 of them went to Pennsylvania, and from there we bought this 36-foot diesel pusher, which is a certified kitchen. Everything in there, we're all certified from the state of New York. We have everything but the kitchen sink, and we got 4 of those. And so what we did was we moved it up to Plattsburgh. Mr. Spiegel, Sonny, and his boys really been good to us, and we had it on the 4 corners of where you come to the end of the turnpike in Route 3 for a couple of years.
Okay,
right where
So Brian Lapierre.
Brian Lapierre used to
Lapierre's
be.
place,
Right,
yes.
we had it there, and then last year we moved down to Casey's place down to Harley Davidson, and we were there all summer, and from there, well, we got the permit to move it up to Champlain. They were gracious enough to let us have a permit to sell food here in Champlain. So what we did was we got rid of what we were allowed for cars, some of them, about 18 of them, in order to put the bus there. So, but on Friday, so then we got the little bus, which is a Cruisin snack bar mini, and the big one is the Cruisin snack bar. That's what it's always been. Our licenses in Vermont are the same.
So now, did I hear you right? You have 4 of those out right now?
No, what we did, we sold those to take the income to buy
So you just have these 2 units?
these 2 units.
Okay.
One's a mobile and one stays stationary.
Okay, and now Calvin will get shots of that. Now, you started this as a car business, okay? So at what point did you say, okay, we want to venture into the food business? Now, you said you've been doing the food business for a while. Did that come in at the same time you did the car business?
It was about 4 years ago that we actually established the actual food business in New York State.
Okay.
Previous to that, we had run a small ice cream trailer in Vermont, and that's where we got the bite. That's where we said we really like this.
So you were doing that while the car business was going on?
Yeah.
So you're wearing 2 hats then?
We just weren't doing
3.
it here.
Okay.
Because we did the garage too.
And in the garage too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
You know, I tell everybody, my dad kind of slowed down when he was 64 or so. He retired, and my dad went downhill. And for that reason, I think in the back of my head, I don't ever want to stop. I don't want to, you know, we're all failing. You know, I mean, I'm failing. But if the thing is, I don't want to stop. I don't want to go crazy, but I don't want to stop. So that's, the stress of the car's a bit much. The garage, not a big deal. The food, I love everybody. I give away more food than I sell. I mean,
It's nice to do something that you're good at and something you really enjoy. We're both pretty social people, and we've been lucky. We've been so blessed to be able to operate here in a neighborhood that we love. Mm-hmm. And how good is it to walk out your front door and you're at work?
Now, and how long have you been set up here, right as you are right now?
Since this spring.
Just this spring, okay.
Yes.
Now you got the smaller vehicle, which has ice cream on it, Hershey's ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Is that strictly just an ice cream vehicle?
no, we can do the same thing we do with the 36-foot diesel pusher.
can, okay.
We have fryers, we have grills, we have 40-gallon, we got hot water, we got pumps on demand, we got ice cream, we have freezers.
The unit has
all
to
in
be
that
set
little
up
rig.
as the same for Clinton County as the bus,
So-
as far as what's required.
So the 30-footer is stationary here, and the smaller one, do you go to different events with the smaller one?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Oh, we're off now?
No, we're on.
Oh, we're still on. Okay, Calvin says, let's move over there so we get a good look. Okay, so we're going to walk over here. I'm going to wait for Calvin. Okay, so we moved over here so we can get a better look at both vehicles, and we're looking at the smaller one now, and it's called the Cruisin Snack Bar Mini. Okay, so where'd that name come from?
Bruce is the one that actually gave the original name to the Cruisin Snack Bar bus. So when we ended up with the small off-site event truck, it was just natural that we would call it the Cruisin Snack Bar Mini.
Okay.
Because it does the same thing that the bus does.
Now, who was the artist, the designer of this?
That's a gentleman that does some painting for a lot of people's collector cars and everything. He
Okay.
goes by Crazy Legs.
His name is Bob Weeks, and he did that all freehand in our garage about a month ago. He's just phenomenal. He does most of the car club, like Shelley said, the rat rods, the street rods. We've actually got a street rod inside that says the Cruisin snack bar on it also. I wanted to get it out today. But anyways, it's a good advertising piece. It's like I say, it's a street rod, a rat rod.
And his wife helps him. Let's not leave.
Let's give credit where it's due.
She actually, he does the freehand, and he does what he does, and then she comes in and she helps him finish up.
So it's truly as a husband-wife team.
Absolutely.
Yes, and he signed it Crazy Legs.
Yeah, I just noticed
Yeah,
that.
that's what they call him, Crazy Legs. That's what his name. But he did that all freehand. He come in and I said, could you put the Cruisin snack bar mini please on there for me? And he started painting, and that's what he came up with. He had flames going here and there, phone numbers, and I said, gee, what a phenomenal job. The other side, we have our serving window, we have an awning, we have all our prices and everything. We play music constantly when depending on where we're at. And as I said, we can actually do the same thing. When we were at the fairgrounds, 3 weeks ago, we did a car show. There was 3 other vendors. There was a barbecue folks. There was an ice cream guy. There was also sausage guy, and they were 9-10 deep most of the day, part of the day. I don't want to get
on your place.
Absolutely, all of them, everywhere.
It was a nice car show.
But we had a hard time keeping up with them. But hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages, French fries are all hand cut. We don't use any frozen hand fries. When we're at home here, generally most of the hamburger is all 85 to 92% patties. When we're on the road and you have so many folks, then it's more commercialized. Then we'll be doing that. And but we can do the same. And it's 60 miles an hour down the road, and we're all set. We go to where we have to go.
All right, well, let's just stop for a second, Calvin. And we're doing a live show. Somebody just stopped by, and you're at business, so you had to take care of business. Now, this is one that travels. How many different events will you go to in the course of the season?
We have one event that's scheduled for every Friday. That's North Country Classics Car Club. We go up to Harley-Davidson. Casey allows us to go up there, and that's every Friday night that it doesn't rain.
Okay.
But right now we book, events, car shows, private events, beach parties. Right now we're booked right through July.
Now, are you finding these places, or do people hear about you and they're asking you to come to their shows?
They're asking us. Yeah, it's wonderful.
The Craig.
Crate Center?
Crate Center, they called us up and asked us if we would care to be one. Chamber of Commerce asked us if we would like to be one of the vendors. Absolutely, and we'll be there, and we'll take care of anybody that's got that wants something to eat, ice cream wise or whatever. But we have a beach party to do at the end of the month. We're going back. There's a salute to the veterans going on at the. We talked to the man yesterday. His name is Mike. At the fairgrounds, and he invited us up to be a vendor with another folks up there. They're going to have fireworks on the 27th, I think it is, something like that, and they're going to have DJ there, bands, whatever, and a biking with a motorcycle and a car show. So that's all fun. And like I say, every Friday night we look forward to doing the car show down at Casey's. Like I say, Matt, when we were up at the Four Corners, those folks really treated us good. Sonny and his sons.
Fabulous family.
Yeah,
fabulous family.
They treat us like family.
They were good to us.
They're good to us.
They took good care of us.
And they're always willing to work with us or help us out. In any case, that all helps. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that we have to do.
Well, the reason this evolved is there's not very many mobile units. There's not very many people that can get in their truck and serve. Now we run with our generator when we're off site, and it's a coming thing. I actually spoke to a person yesterday that was looking for information because they want to outfit a truck like ours, and it's not the easiest process, but if you go to the right people, they really smooth things out for you. We were very lucky. Rita Mitchell from the county, she walked me through everything, and with the bus, and so we knew pretty much what was going to be required for the truck. Okay. And but they give you all the information. She's the one that did our inspection on our small truck, and she did my inspection on my bus. She's actually the head inspector, I think, for the initial applications. But everybody really works together, and you go to the right people, and we've been, like I say, so blessed because we've met a lot of really great people, and so many people have helped us.
Nice. Now this leads to another question: when the mobile unit's on the road, do you go together? And if you go together, do you shut your stationary place down?
Yes. When we have an event, usually one will drive the generator down, the other one will drive the food truck.
Okay, so you're doing this together. Okay.
Yeah.
If we plug in like at Casey's and also the place downtown when we do the car show down there, what's the name
down
of
at
that?
Big Apple.
The Big Apple Audio, yeah.
We do there.
We actually plug right into their building. We have 220 coming out of the back.
Okay.
So what'll happen is if that happens to go that way, then I'll go down first. I'll get everything set up. I'll start cooking hamburgers and hot dogs, french fries, you name it. Shelly will stay here as long as she possibly can. She'll jump in the van and bring it down with the rest of the supplies. So that all works out good.
So now you take this mobile unit out there, and of course I'm just thinking, how do you know how much food to bring?
You don't. So you always make sure that you have enough of everything, because everything that when we're off site, we use like commercial burgers. And when we're here on site, it's a little different because we sort of can play it by ear, and but we stay well stocked. We have the truck is outfitted as the bus is with a freezer, a refrigerator, and we've been really lucky. A lot of the events we go to, the vendors that are there, we all sell different things. There's not much of an overlap. So we may sell hamburgers, hot dogs, cheeseburgers, Michigans, and somebody else will sell Italian sausage. Somebody else will sell barbecue. And so it's a nice variety. People have an option, and we pretty much stick to what we serve in our bus.
Okay.
We have daily specials, of course, here, but when we're off-site events, we limit the menu.
Sure.
But we try and throw in a few things like Italian sausage and pulled pork sandwiches, just something a little extra.
Now, when did you open up for the season here, your stationary unit?
I believe in May.
It was in May you started, okay.
It was.
And now what are the hours here?
Here we run Monday through Friday. We shut down early on Friday because we have the car club. We usually shut down around 4 o'clock. On weekends, if we're not booked, we like to open up on Saturday.
Okay.
And,
And the hours on Monday through Friday are?
Usually we open about between 10 and 10:30, and when I leave, because I work full-time at the college, and when I leave, Bruce takes over. And he's usually open till dark.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because if it's a nice evening, sometimes folks come in 6, 7 at a time, and, or with their families, a big family that is, and, we're pretty much open.
I mean, you've only been open not that long.
Right.
And are you happy the way the early results are in?
Absolutely. It's fabulous.
I wouldn't believe it. I was telling Calvin before we started, if you would have mentioned this a year ago, I'd say, geez,
that's what he said when I mentioned it this year, too.
This is not going to work. We're not in the loop here. But, Derringers have been doing business with us. And folks around town, we deliver to Derringers and stuff when they would like something, or anybody else up that way, and they really support us, and they like our Michigans. They seem to like everything. I mean,
there's not a lot of
homemade. If they don't like it, they sure don't
homemade
say
items
it.
around.
Yeah. So you get a lot of phone calls for getting lunches ready.
Absolutely.
And we actually like that because some people are limited to only half an hour for lunch.
That's
so
right.
if it's ready when they get here, it's good. And if we can deliver, if we have enough orders to deliver, Bruce hops in and off he goes, and it's all good. Everybody in the neighborhood's been really supportive.
That's awesome.
And in supporting us, and like I say, for us, it's pretty much what we're looking forward to for retirement, just to keep going, and we're just having a good time with it.
And usually when people come to get food, they're usually in a pretty good mood.
Oh, yes.
And if they're not, we serve them ice cream. They're in a good mood when they leave.
How can you be bad eating ice cream? So you mentioned earlier that you'd let us take a view inside the both units. Absolutely. Can we start with the Mini first?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to shut off here for a second and head to the Mini. And we just moved to the other side of the Mini here, and you can see where people can walk up, place their order, and he's got a nice looking old cruiser, but...
You know where that comes from? Mel's Diner in Wilmington.
That's Mel's Diner?
That's that came out of Mel's up there.
Really?
In fact, if we go inside after the jukebox and the seating and everything else comes out of Mel's Diner, yeah.
You got music playing.
Yeah.
And...
play a little bit of everything, whatever people care
And I asked you off camera only because I saw Hershey's ice cream. I assumed it was hard ice cream, but you serve soft ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah, that came on the truck.
Okay.
We just haven't peeled it off. It was,
Oh, okay. All right. So we'll take a look inside, Calvin.
Yep.
So Bruce, we're looking inside, and we'll be very clear to the folks. This is a health department approved
Absolutely, yeah.
truck here that you have.
Yes.
You kind of want to explain what what Calvin's showing on the camera here.
Okay, what you're seeing here is we have our fryers here, and next to it we have a small 2-foot grill with 2 burners extra, and underneath there is a 40-gallon tank that we hold our water with, and then there's 3 sinks, 1, 2, 3, and a hand washing sink, which is the 4th, and we have hot water on demand. So whenever we need to wash the dishes or our hands or whatever. On the other side we have a small freezer, and then we have a little bit of storage place, microwave on the top. Our ice cream machine right here is a portable Sandy Serve. We keep our drinks in this igloo cooler, everything that it holds a lot, and then, you know, ketchup and onions and peppers and or whatever there. Now for our gray water, we have these 20-gallon blue totes that fit underneath here. So when after we wash the dishes, wash our hands, whatever with the hot water, everything goes through into the tote, and we bring that back and put it in the drains.
So when you're going to an event, how long does it take you to get this ready with food and everything to put it on the road?
Half an hour.
About a half hour.
Half an hour, we're out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, we load up the freezers, and we also have a going down the road. I can plug in the freezers. I can plug in the ice cream machine. I can plug in whatever we need as we're going down the road. It keeps everything cold. It has the inverters in here also. It's all got the lighting is all that LED. I should have plugged it in for you. On the back walls is all diamond plate over here, diamond plate down there. It's really nice. And like I say, when the LEDs are on, we have huge LEDs over the top and going across, and also on the side and also on underneath. And it's all hooked up for 220, which is here. Our gas is here also, and it comes off 220 to 110 splitter. So we have 6 plug-ins over here and 6 plug-ins over there for whatever we have to, whatever we may be doing.
And this was designed by the health department.
This was designed by Bruce.
We're the ones that came up with the initial design. And what happens is that the health department is the one that gives its stamp of approval.
Oh, okay.
They tell you what the requirements are, what you're required to have, and you fill out your application. You can either do drawings or you can submit pictures, and we submitted pictures.
Okay.
And but they pretty much tell you what you need to have.
Okay.
Where you put it is up to you. As long as you have it all, you're
Right.
golden.
So designed by Bruce, is that another business in the horizon here?
I shouldn't have said
He
that.
designed the bus. He designed the bus also.
I just thought it might work good there. I didn't know.
And
You know.
designed the bus too?
He designed the
Okay.
bus also.
So I guess our next view in Calvin's will be inside the bus.
Yes. I want to.
Okay, so we're back into the 30-footer now. All right, so kind of give us an idea what we have, different stations we have here.
Well, we started off with, there's our box. There's our electrical box up in there, and we have a cooler over here, a small workstation here. We got a 4-foot grill. Over here we've got 4 different fryers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the stainless steel stove, which we have cooked for some of the horse shows that we did. Mr. Butts, we cooked him, 40 pounds of beef. I think we're going to, what we're looking at right now, if everything goes well, we may be taking this out of here. We're going to go up and see a guy by the name of Bart. He lives up in Malone, and he has some pizza ovens for us. I do believe come towards fall, we'd really like to do a small pizza business, and we'll replace this with the pizza, with the pizza ovens. Here's our ice cream server. We have vanilla, chocolate, and a combination of, which would be the twist. We do that here, and then we have another workstation here. Now this is movable. This will slide out. Because when you have a place of business and things catch a fire, you have to have a second route to get out, and that's how it is. This pulls right out, boom, you're out the back door. If the fire starts on this side, boom, you're out the front door. So we have a little workstation here.
But the key word, Bruce, was if.
That's right. We're hoping now.
Not when, but if.
Right.
We're going to be going. This is our machine right here. We just got it recently. We're going to be going with. We'll take the vanilla, and a soft serve. We'll blend it in the Astro blender, and we'll put like root beer, maple, strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, just like Mr. Gino does. I mean, I'm not comparing with Mr. Gino, but up here in Champlain, we like to have the different flavors, you know. Back here and underneath here is a 40-gallon, again, hot water tank. We have our water tank. We have our hot water here. We have our pumps here. We have our 4-bay sinks here. And as you come around, a storage area for things, and then a stainless steel refrigerator.
Okay.
And then, as you can see, we have some more storage down below. Our microwaves, our toasters, another freezer here that does, you know, keeps everything, onions and tomatoes and all of that. Our serving window, a popcorn machine on the other side, and
So 30 feet, you guys really aren't each other's way then.
no.
We wanted it to be fully self-contained, so that we didn't require a commissary. And Bruce pretty much, he worked with Timmy Misek to tell him what we were looking at.
Okay.
And Timmy is the one that did the building. Timmy does a fabulous job. He helped us immeasurably. I don't know how many hours we had in it, but he came up with some good ideas. He and Bruce, they coordinated the ideas, and this is what we ended up with, and it's been great. It's filled all the needs for any eventuality that would come up, and we've liked it. It's
if we had to go, let's say you guys are throwing one heck of a party, and you said, but we turn the key and start this up. We're out of here. We can take this anywhere.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the county.
Anywhere in the county.
Okay.
My only problem is I don't have a license, and I'm worried about getting caught with this thing. But tell everybody, eh? And that could cost me $1,000 trip home.
So what's your hours again here, Monday through Friday?
We
about
generally
10:30.
About 10:30 in the morning, and then what will happen is Shelley has a full-time job, as she said, so she goes to work for 4 o'clock. And on a nice evening, generally, if I'm not playing music down in Plattsburgh, sitting in with a band or something, and that only happens on occasion, like Friday night or Wednesday night, I'll stay open as long as it's nice out till almost dark.
Now, what are your plans as far? Obviously, it's seasonal business. When do you foresee that you'd be shutting this down?
we won't. We want to transition to pizza and pasta for this fall.
So you're going to stay open through the fall?
We're going to enclose it. We're going to skirt it, and we're going to see. We actually stayed open as late as the beginning of December.
Oh, wow, okay.
But it's very cold because the cold comes from the floor, from the ground, and so we're hoping if we skirt it, and we may be able to conserve some of the heat, and if we can, and with a pizza oven here, that may do it.
Keep it warmer.
We're still talking about whether we're going to offer our regular menu at the same time.
Right.
We're sort of like iffy maybe, but I know that that's one of the things we want to implement. We're changing all the time. We're offering new meals. We're going to be going with a 4-piece chicken in the basket dinner.
In the basket.
Yeah.
Who the heck serves chicken in the basket? We're going to serve chicken in the basket. I guess I'm back to the 50s. I don't know what the hell's the matter with me.
Well, you had a lot of business like Benny's Chicken Galore.
Right.
I mean,
well,
they had all those things, you know,
right.
and we like that. And a lot of the customers we have are local, and they're, you know, Champlain is an older generation that's still here, and they remember all those things.
Sure.
You know, and we have several customers that come in, they sit down at the table and talk with Bruce, and you know, it's good times. I remember this, that, and the other thing. So when Bruce suggested that we try to investigate a 4-piece chicken dinner so we can have a chicken in the basket, well, everybody says, great, I remember that. You know.
So I assume you both put your heads together to create the menu that you have now?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, Bruce comes up with some really good ideas. I'm the one that implements different things like salads and taco salads and stuff. I bring in the other things, and you know, but he pretty much stays to the Michigans and the usual fare that people are used to. And
Now you bring up Michigan's. Is this some secret sauce that's fourth generation owned here? Or?
No, Bruce actually was the originator of the recipe. All I do is tweak it.
Okay, so Bruce, you're the originator of this Michigan sauce.
And it's a secret. They, you know, on national TV, they wanted me to be on and tell my secrets, but I said, I'm sorry, my friend, I can't. So
did you create the sauce yourself, or is this generational?
The base for it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my meme.
Without giving out the secret.
My meme used to work at Claire and Carl's.
Okay.
I love her. Bless her soul. She used to work there, and of course, Nitsy's back in the old days. And you know the things that, you know, the Orange Julep and the Astrodome and all, I don't know what the hell's the matter. I just want to go back to them days. Those were the good old days, as I said earlier. Those were the golden years. And I think when I watch on Facebook and stuff and see all the stuff you guys put on, it's good memories for all
it's great,
folks.
but back then we talked. We didn't text each other.
Right.
We had conversations.
Right, absolutely.
You know, you played cards. You got to know each other.
We see a lot of families coming in, bringing their children and their grandchildren in, and it gives them an idea of the way things used to be.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, like Bruce will go out on any given night. I mean, if you have a couple that come in, we have a couple of the trays that go on the side of your car. And any given night, he'll just waltz on out there with it on a tray, and here you go, you know.
with the diesel the other day, he said, "This is better than Claire and Carl's." He said, "I'm down, not wearing no skirt."
Are you on rollerblades still?
No.
I can't. We don't have workman's comp here, so no rollerblades.
Oh, this is wonderful. And this will be great exposure for you guys.
We have a great time here, and we do appreciate the opportunity to be able to have Hometown Cable,
Yeah, glad to do this
feature
show.
us.
Well, I mean, you know, the show's called Talkin' Business, and we want to let the folks know about businesses in the North Country and to support the local folks.
We do that. We do a lot of our shopping as local vendors. We don't do a lot of ordering out like, you know, the big companies. We shop as much local as we can.
Sure.
And you know, we figure anything we do for somebody else, it improves the community. It helps the economy of the community, and everybody's really good with us.
It sure does. And I want to take this time too to make an appeal, as I do on every show, to Hometown Cable. Calvin has been doing the show. I saw him post the other day. It started his 33rd season, and he actually posted a game in Peru, I think, the first recording you ever had as Hometown Cable. And of course it was new to the area back 33 years ago, and who would have known that 33 years later it has become what it has become. And I tell Calvin this, and he always smiles behind the camera, but he is a North Country treasure for doing this, and he's capturing the North Country. He's capturing the people, who we are as a society here in the North Country, and we consider this truly the North Country because we're so far up in the state of New York. But he can't do this alone. It takes money to do this, and he is not federally funded. He's not state funded. It comes from individual donations, and he posts that on his show every day, or at least every day or once a week on his Access channel. People that give every month at different levels. He's business supported, so if a business wants to do a commercial, he'll do that, and he can run your commercial excellent rates. I've been involved with Calvin, I mean, not doing this show with him, but as an advertiser when we had Northern Blacktopping to Kavanaugh Realty, and we've been going strong, Calvin, for what, 25 years, probably 30 years, I don't know, ever since he started doing this. And it's great advertising, but what you're doing is you're supporting another local business. Hometown Cable is a local business. So if you can send a donation to 1477 Ridge Road in Champlain, New York, 12919, or go to hometowncablenetwork.com, and you can go on his site, and you can do it through a PayPal account. But whatever you do, Calvin would be appreciative, and I'm sure the people of the North Country would be appreciative, because this show is live now as we're talking. But as the years go by, you talk about the good old days, this show will become a good old day for you, and it'll be some real nice hometown memories. And we've been doing this long enough, and you guys have been around long enough. There's people that were in our lives that are no longer here, and you can go back to an old show, and they're back on that show, and it just floods of memories come back to you. The history, the knowledge of what these people brought to the North Country.
That's how things become extinct, is because nobody follows up. What you do, Calvin and Joey, keeps it alive. Mm-hmm. And other generations are going to see this, and they're going to say, son of a gun, I didn't know it was that way. But I know in a lot of Indian tribes, one of the reasons that their ways are dying out is because there's nobody to teach the younger generation. Mm-hmm. So this is an opportunity for the younger generation, even though they may chuckle and they may, snicker and everything, they really are impressed with it. They're impressed with what they see. They may not want to do it, but that's the way it was, and grandma and grandpa and great-grandma and great-grandpa, it was their time. And it's a nice memory for them to have.
Well, you talk about chuckling, but he'll put up an old show back in the day when I could actually run the bases and play sports, and my kids will go, geez, Dad, you had hair back then. So they get chuckles of those going back in time, but that happens.
But it's memories.
But it is memories, and he's capturing the North Country. I mean, just not only these shows, the catastrophes that we've had over the years. Calvin has been there. We have our beloved school that burnt down in January. Hometown Cable was there below zero. Judy was out that night. Calvin came out that night. That weather wasn't fit for anybody, and God bless our firefighters and our auxiliary that were there that night. As you can't say enough words about them, but it was Hometown Cable that was there, and whenever there's an event going on, it's Hometown Cable is there, and we take him for granted. We take Judy for granted, and we just assume that Calvin is going to be there. And we can't take that for granted, so we have to support Hometown Cable, and hopefully this show, this appeal will strike a chord with somebody watching this or seeing it online, where you'll feel compelled to send a donation. And it is money well spent. We spend a lot of money every month on cable television. We support PBS, which I'm not saying we should. I think it's a great station, but there's a lot of things that we support. Let's support Hometown Cable for the work that Calvin has done and is continuing to do. And let's not take Calvin for granted. Calvin, any other questions for Shelley and Bruce on this edition of Talkin' Business?
No, just want to get another shot outside.
Okay, so we'll end the show in a minute here. Okay, we're back outside, and Calvin's got the camera on the old Rutland Railroad.
Yes,
Do you remember that, Bruce?
I sure do.
Now, do we remember what year that it was not existent at this right here in front of us?
I don't know how many years ago it was. I remember them when they took all of the, the things out and everything, but was it 25 years ago?
62, I think, is when they said for sure that they wouldn't run another train. I think the last train stopped before that, but I think it was 62 when the last one.
Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I remember that well. I was a year old. So Bruce, we've had a great story today about the Cruisin snack bar and the Cruisin snack bar mini, and I mean, of course, we've lived here all our lives, and we talk about the old Burroughs Mobile, as I remember calling it.
Yeah.
But kind of explain to the folks how to get here and where you are.
Well, we're kind of like at the end of Route 9. No, we're right where Locust Street and Route 9 splits. As you come through the village, you go across Noyes Bridge. That's the green bridge down there, and you come up. What they used to call it, Calvin, the French Village. You come up to the French Village, and if you don't know where that is, just stay right on Route 9, heading towards Canada, and right where the road splits, you'll see we have a small car dealership here, and you'll see the bus. The bus is really visible, and it's before you get to Smith and Sons and where they do the packages from Canada and stuff like that up the road.
All the brokers up there.
All the brokers up there. So we're kind of
basically, if you're let's say you're at the red light in Champlain, where
you come straight.
You just keep driving straight on Route 9.
Keep driving straight.
Heading toward 87.
Absolutely, yes.
Toward the Canadian border.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to.
Don't forget Perry's Mills in that direction.
Well, you got Perry's Mills off of Locust Street. Yes. If you take a left on Locust Street, you head to Perry Mills, and of course I know that very well, Calvin, because that was my old stomping grounds, and that's how I know this place so well. It's growing up around here, but yeah. So you head up toward the border. You can take left. If you take a left on Locust, you're heading toward Perry's Mills. You go straight heading to the border, and in that Y is where we're going to find the Cruisin Snack Bar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, anything else you want to? Any final message you want to give to the folks before we sign off?
The only message that I would like to give is I want to thank you guys for coming over and doing this, taking your time, as you said before, with Calvin, all of these years. He's always there, and really much appreciated. Really is. I mean, we're kind of out of the loop, and but folks are visiting us, and they're coming back. It's all good. And I enjoy this. No stress.
Well,
no stress. I would tell everybody, if I was, let's say if you had, Pepsi, couple Michigans, order fries. And you say, Bruce, the Pepsi was a little bit warm. I thought the fries were greasy. And I thought your Michigans were cold. I give you back your $5. No hard feelings. Mm-hmm. We're all set. Everything's all good. It's all good. In fact, I give you an ice cream to go with it. I just no stress.
Customer satisfaction.
Absolutely, 150, 200%.
Okay.
I just want people to be happy, and it's not about making the money. They come out and say, "Give me a small fry." Sonny Spiegel, and give me a small fry. You go, geez, Bruce, look at the size of that thing. Well, it's just small today, I mean, my dad, I just mentioned this. My dad, when he was living, when the kids would come over, nobody went home. Nobody went home hungry, and we feel the same. Nobody's gonna go home hungry. If I can give you something to take home with you, God bless you. I'm gonna give it to you. Because and the kids, nobody's gonna go home hungry. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's been a great show to do with you, Bruce, and it was nice hooking up with you again. We don't see a lot of each other, and Shelley's actually had to go get ready to get prepared to work within the Cruisin snack bar, but it's been a great show. And as you can see, Bruce has a passion for what he's doing now, and while we were inside, I don't know if you could hear the phone ringing, but there were 3 or 4 calls coming in for people probably up the road calling in to do some pickups here. But give the Cruisin snack bar a look. Try it out. It's a new place here in Champlain, and one thing I will tell you is I know Bruce, and Bruce will give you a nice experience here. He'll give you a good meal, and as he said, if you aren't happy with your meal, he'll give it back with an ice cream.
Absolutely.
And that's 100% guarantee. So
Absolutely.
You can't beat that.
Absolutely.
You know. And I'm Joey Trombley. On the camera has been Calvin Castine, and this has been another edition of Talkin' Business. We hope you've enjoyed this show, and if you do, let Calvin know. You know, send him an email, give him a phone call, let him know you like this type of programming, and probably more importantly, if you can, send him a donation if your means will allow it, and I know he'll appreciate that too. I'm Joey Trombley signing off, and we'll see you in another edition of Talkin' Business.